Now, our host for the evening is one Mr. Fabian Firematic Morris. Yes? Clap, please. Yes. First met Fabian in 2017 when he was at the Jamaica College as a part of the Blue Truth Band. Yes, and since then he's been up to the Chromatic crew, shelling event after event. Every time I look around, there's another flyer, there's another booking. We talk about booked and busy.
Principals, teachers, sponsor representative, band members, students, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I am truly delighted to be here. This was one of, my training grounds. It was last night I saw that very video. I didn't even see it. I didn't see it back in the day. I didn't see it. It's the first I watched that video, and brought back so many memories being a part of JC's band. So I am truly delighted and honored to welcome you all to the media launch for the 10th season of the Jamaica's Best School Band. Could you put our hands together for that? Yeah. And it stands as the premier platform for high school stage bands. But ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, I want to welcome the saxophonist, Mr. Janoy Bryan, who will bless us with the national anthem. Could you make him welcome, please? For the past 9 seasons, we have been developing a fine culture, a fine tradition for excellence with a number of our past participants going on to further honing their skills here at the Edna College or at other tertiary institutions while making great strides in their chosen fields, mainly in the entertainment sector. With that in mind, it is a pleasure to have the organizations like JCAP, Jaria, JAMS, JFMAU being represented here as we strive to continue being the platform that nurtures, mentors, and reward talented youth with the requisite skills to carry on Jamaica's rich cultural legacy. The Jbsb have been over 300 schools island-wide. More than half of that number have participated in the competition. We have crowned 7 champions, and we want you to take a look at the screen to see who they are. We'll be seeing a Jbsb champions video at this time.
human tendency. Come here, come here. It is emergency. My name is
when the money and the causes, don't care who a supervise or who the boss is. No care if a soft drink or any in our glasses. We having a party. Straight gain, we not in our losses. Better you late than bring your crosses. Cause we not in a no hype, not in a blasting. Seafood, walk on, yo. Yo a full night.
Over the years, I'm not telling a lie, and when the competition, when we used to come together for the competition, it wasn't normal. Yeah, because everybody well rehearsed, well practiced. You understand me? There was no big school, up school. There was just talent and hard work. You understand me? That was what was reigning. You understand me? So at this point in time, we're moving right along in the program. I want to invite the creative producer, the founder and creative producer for Jamaica's Best School Band, Miss Raven Amani, to give you a preview of what season 10 will hold. Could you put your hands together for her, please?
Thank you so very, very much. Yes, good evening again. It's a pleasure to be here at season 10. Oh my word, Mr. Sertwell, you know very well our very, very humble beginnings. Yes, when we were on the road, not knowing how we would even start the first season. Yes, and here we are at 10. Yeah, man, we deserve the clappings as yes. So, I want to say, for this 10th season, we were back to starting with our pre-competition school tour, and we were able to travel to all the participants that are in for this season. Number of schools tried to enter, but for one reason or another, they could not stay the course, right? So we're at 8 schools for season 10. We were up to even 16 at one point. But for one reason, it was lack of instruments. I see Mr. Your brother from Vauxhall, there's Rusty's, there's all these schools who want to enter, but they don't have instruments. They're trying to get instruments, they're trying to get equipment, and all of that good stuff. But just couldn't get through. So, for the 8 schools, majority are from out of town. We have St. Mary High School, St. Thomas Technical, Ferncourt, Lennon High, Bel-Air High, Mayday High. And so for this evening, they wanted to make it, but because of the time and traveling back so far, they decided to just say, to tell you that they are very excited about being a part of the competition and looking forward to competing and performing, but they just couldn't make it here this evening. So, right now, we're just happy to be here with all of you. That just don't want it to be lost on us. that we have the great Mr. Mikey Bennett here. Yes. Yes. We have the great Mr. Lloyd Parks over there. And of course, I was told, reliably so, that Mr. Dean Fraser is on his way. So we hope to have Mr. Dean Fraser here. And the reason why I name those names is because I do believe that there's a gap with our now generation, younger generation, and our pioneers and our greats in the industry. And I feel that our platform, Jbsb, that is one of the functions, is to bridge that gap, is to really bring that connectivity between the pioneers, the people who set it, the people who build it, to the young ones coming in, new brand, fresh, right? With all the technology and the softwares and all of those things. And let it not go over our heads either that we're here at the Edna Burnley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Right? Yes, one of our main sponsors, where our final rounds will be held also. So, mentioning final rounds, I'm here to give you the preview. For the first round, we kick off things at our first season winner, Pembroke Hall High School, on the 16th of March, 2:30 p.m. We will be there at the Pembroke Hall High School with Pembroke Hall High. Hello, I see some back, I see the lead singer sitting right there. Yes, I see the saxophonist. Yes, ready to go? Stand up, so sure. So sure.
You have to be ready.
Alright, you have a few days, Alright, with Pembroke High School and of course Papine High, Mr. Romano Pitt here from Papine, who also coached Stats, our season 2 winner. He's now at Papine. Big up yourself, Mr. Pitt. Yes, I have to talk things down because we're not in the press like that, and every now and again we go out, people say, but how we never hear? It's so exciting, but we never hear. So whenever I get the chance, I have to tell you all about it. To tell you that members of Mr. Pitt's St. Andrew Technical Band is now on tour. We have Janelle Mills, who was the lead singer, who now sing background vocals for Romain Virgo. Yes? Yes. Yes. And we have a number of them. Dante Rose, the keyboard player, Anthony, the drummer. I think I remember that name because, yeah, they are now here at Edna and touring with people like Lila Ike, Coffee. Yes. Yes, man. Big things. So we're small, but we're punching way above our weight. And yes, so that's Papine and also St. Thomas Tech and St. Mary High for Pembroke Hall on the 16th of March. Now then we move on to our current champion, St. Catherine High School on March 23rd, 2:30 p.m. We are at St. Catherine High for the second preliminary round, where that will be the other 4 bands: Bel Air High School, Mayday High School, Lennon High, and Ferncourt High. Yes? And of course, they will be judged from a list of criteria to include stagemanship, interaction with audience, and all that good stuff. Yes? And then we move on to April 16th for the quarterfinal and semi-final round. Here, it's a Sunday, starting 11 a.m. in the Vera Moody Hall here at the Edna Burnley College. And of course, the grand final. April 23rd, where we'll have our host, Fireman, and of course our 4 finalists. Yes? We will be performing 8 to 10 minutes set from the theme Remix and Fusion. That's a classic or popular song remixed or fused to a different genre. Right? So that's our preview, and I hope to see each and everyone here at some point in the rounds or at the final, coming out to support the bands, cheer them on. I don't know if you are betting and you want to pick your side. But yes, please spread the word. If you're on social media, the hashtag is Jbsb10, hashtag fantastic. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ruben, and thank you for all that you have been doing over the years, you know, in terms of this competition. And for those of you that don't know, the Jamaica's Best School Band is an inter-high school stage band competition and program featuring schools from across Jamaica, taken to the rounds of performances for judges, audiences of their peers, teachers, family members, and the general public. And we're heading now into the 10th season. Alright? So we're going to hear from the sponsors at this point in time. You understand me? We want to hear from our sponsors. And the first sponsor that we're going to be hearing from is Mr. Anthony Graham. Alright? He from Home Time Cable. Alright? So Mr. could come up this time. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you. All protocols are good evening. Jamaica Best School Band Season 10. I want to do a big shout out. I prepared a small speech, but you know, it has been a pleasure working with Jamaica Best School Band and Raven and Lydie were brought to my attention by a mutual friend about 5 years ago. Home Time Entertainment Limited is a cable and internet provider across 9 parishes in Jamaica. I know a lot of you are saying, I've never heard of it. I've been told many times that it's one of the best kept secrets. We also produced the dancehall channel from 2004 until today. In the early days when the dancehall channel was on Jacks and those, you know, it so happened that then was standing over there, Jeremy and I promoted the dancehall as Scrapping has been with us. I met him when I returned to Jamaica in 2004, and he has been working that medium all these years, the dancehall channel. We're also an advocate for literacy and cultural development of our nation's children, and that is the reason why Jamaica Best School Band fits so nicely when Raven approached us. Home Time was immediately sold when we were asked to participate. The main area of our sponsorship was for the recording and editing of the events, as we have had expertise and experience in doing the dancehall channel. Personally, I think this is one of the best, if not the best cultural extracurricular activities in the secondary school today. And while I was writing this, something came to me. Some people might think I'm a politician, I'm not, but I just had to mention this. When I saw, I was away I think when it happened, but when I saw that Edward Seaga had taken a job at the university to lecture young people, I said to myself, how lucky these people are, these young people are. Can you imagine sitting, and I'm going to go on the other side, can you imagine if I was sitting in a room with a Fidel Castro lecturing me? You know, can you imagine for those who are mathematicians and Einstein lecturing you, or you know, those people? So when Edward Serra took that job, I said these young people are very lucky. It doesn't matter whether you are PMP, JMP or no P. It just matters that someone who has been through the ups and downs of what formed this country is actually sitting in front of you that you can ask, you know, serious questions. It's the same feeling that came to me when I saw light paths. Here's Lydie. Hey. When I saw Lydie and you know, and Mikey Bennett, you know, to have these stalwarts, you know, advising these young people. I said to myself, how lucky they are to have such good mentors. Raising passion for the music and for passing on the talent will ensure that Jamaica still has future Bob Marley and the Wailers, future Light Parks and We the People, future Third World, and so on. So Home Time is very, very happy and delighted to be part of this forum. Home Time is here to stay, and we wish Raven, Lydie, and many others who have penetrated in all the schools, and we hope that it will just get bigger and much, much more schools will be able to join in. While that is the end of what I wrote, I just couldn't help overhearing some of the challenges that Raven mentioned earlier of some schools that were not able to make this year because of lack of resources, especially the equipment and so on. And for the media people who are here, I just want to say that, you know, when you deliver the message of the Jamaica Best School Band in your writing, I'm asking you to reach out, you know, let them understand who are here, the Light Parks, Mikey Bennett, you know, I just see another gentleman walking. Yes. That the school needs the help. And a lot of schools want to participate, but they can't. I don't know if we can come up with a program that we have a mobile band that moves around. I don't know. But again, I ask that you try to inform the public that any help that can be given to Raven and our team is more than welcome, and it's a for a good cause. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Sir Graham, for your remarks. And we appreciate you for the work that you put in and for investing in the youths. At this time, we'll also have remarks from a representative from the Edna Manley College, that's Miss Colleen Douglas. At this point in time, could you make a welcome?
Non-traditional media anymore. And it's frightening what is happening in our schools. It's frightening that some things seem to have happened to the social fabric. And I dare say music is actually the answer. And when you look at bands and what it takes for bands to put together, work together, perhaps that's something we ought to consider more. So Raven, big up yourself for what you've been doing consistently. It is, a lot of times we think that something has to be loud. I always have something coming in the middle of my speech where I say, yeah, go on good, huh? But it's one of those competitions that you feel like it's a big secret, but always be mindful of small impacts and how that really affect bigger things. And so everybody will come to the fullness in good time, and you will see what happens as it spreads. So I really want to use the opportunity to encourage you not to stop. And as the college, the only one of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean, we say, our responsibility is to ensure that these talented young people have a space where they can enhance their natural talents. Our mission statement says that we enrich the aesthetic sensibilities of arts in the Caribbean and offer the highest quality training in the visual and performing arts, and we remain committed to that. So it is a natural kind of synergy that the Edna Manley College would partner with Jbsb. We will never stop. We believe in more than just the immediacy. What happens when we're watching over the years, one of the things I think that we must accept and we must support is that this is how we preserve music. We speak a lot about preservation of music. We speak a lot about the divide. I'm the forgotten generation, by the way. I was born in 1976, so then remember I'm in the middle. But that divide that we speak about, young people versus the Mikey Bennetts. That's my brother. I can age him. But you know that divide we speak about, one of the things that this particular competition has taught me, that there's not so much of a disconnect. The students are doing their research and they're presenting music of yesteryear and they're owning it. So it's a great way to preserve our music and it's a rich way to preserve that. So I just want to say, tell everyone, what's your hashtag?
Fantastic.
Fantastic it is. We're going to fantastic the world this year. And let us be active agents of sharing this truth. One of the things she said earlier on was that a lot of people want to enter, but schools do not have the resources for students to practice. That is something we all have to agitate for as members of the industry, because they need the equipment to survive. And so from my perspective is that we encourage this kind of talent because we think the music is so much to Jamaica, so we need to put the money where our mouth is at. So within this wonderful entertainment, edutainment kind of event and activity, we ask that we take the opportunity to educate corporate Jamaica, bring everybody on board. It's private-public partnership for us to get more equipment in schools, to get more teachers in schools who can teach music so that we can continue to preserve and carry on this wonderful thing called reggae. Give thanks for being at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts.
I want us to affix ourselves to the screens because I want us to know that each season begins with a pre-competition school tour. And this is to assist with the preparation of our school bands, right, through a bit of performance coaching. The Jbsb also used this opportunity to share valuable information about the business of music with presentations on intellectual property, etc. It's moving right along into the program. I don't want to hold you long. We're going to get a message from the chairman of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association. He's a mentor, he's an advocate, he's a lecturer in the areas of intellectual property law, entertainment law, and cultural enterprise management. This proud son of Glenmere High School in Carrington is currently the General Counsel for Jamaica's leading urban and rural development agency. Right? He also currently stands as the chairman of the Jamaica Reggae Industry. Ladies and gentlemen, could we just please make Mr. Ewan Simpson welcome as he brings message to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. How do you do, everybody? I don't have on my glasses, so it means that, and since I am Colleen Senior, it means that I am very old. And when she was talking about old people like Mikey, I almost felt offended. But Mikey wasn't offended, so I have no right to. So I leave it alone. But I want to big up my good friend, Mr. Lloyd Parks, who was one of the people I've had the pleasure of working with over the years, and somebody who, when I was a country boy from Clarendon, dreaming about musicians, I used to find it amazing that Larry would play bass and sing, and singing something which is entirely different from the bass line. And I thought that was magic, and it was part of my inspiration as a youngster. So thanks, Larry. Mr. Dean Fraser, who is also my colleague on the board of Jury, I want to greet him and big him up for being a pioneer and being one of those people that every horn player in Jamaica looks up to, even if they're older than him. So I want to big up Mr. Dean Fraser. And of course, Mr. Mikey Bennett, who I hailed already, but who is one of Jamaica's finest in production and writing, and who has taken on himself the role of mentor, and who sets an example in sharing of everything that he has in music. So I want to big up Mikey as well. So Colleen said, so Colleen came up here and gave half of my speech. So since I'm her elder, I'm thanking her for having done that. And I'm going to talk about something else, another piece of the thing. And I'm not going to talk long because I know that musicians like to talk a lot among themselves, especially when they're supposed to be rehearsing. But if you take them out of that context, they don't want to hear nobody talking. So I'm happy that I have that first-hand experience, and so I can share with you very quickly from the perspective of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, but also from my own personal perspective. I want to congratulate Raven on 10 years, and I want us to not take that very lightly. I want to congratulate Raven on 10 years. I'm saying it because I was one of the first adjudicators of a band competition that was not this one, but it was put on by the JCDC, and it never lasted 3 years. So Raven doing it on her own private speed is a serious achievement. So I want to say that. And I want to say that 10 also represents a very interesting number, because 10 is supposed to be the perfect number. It's supposed to be the number of completion and so on. And I want us to think of it seriously, because to have been able to produce the caliber that we have been able to produce in a competition that is a school competition is also speaking not only to the caliber of talent that we have, but speaking to the interest and the drive and the insistence that we must do. We must do it. So, one of the things I'm going to beg us to do, and this is going to be really the substance of my presentation. I want all of us, from any of the quarters that we exist, from any of the spheres of influence that we have, to change the narrative around music. Colleen said it, that music is the solution. I want us to transfer music from being co-curricular to being core curriculum. And it is important because we see music as this thing that we do because we are talented. And I hear a lot of the discussions, even in the recordings from the principals and the teachers and so on, and they talk about these talented students, these talented students, these talented students. Well, Dean and Mikey will tell you that talent is the smallest piece. Right? I mean, there's talent like drop mango. We come from Clarendon colleagues, so we talk about mango. There's talent like drop mango everywhere in Jamaica. That is only where we start the conversation. Music needs to be core curricular because we also need to align the minds of the education system and of the average Jamaican that music as a business is also the greatest potential for economic liberation in this country. And until we stop seeing music as co-curricular, until we stop seeing it as that thing that you do because you're talented and you do it to keep out of trouble while you're studying to become a doctor or an engineer or an actuarial scientist or whoever, until we stop seeing it that way, until the people who are interested in law in Jamaica are interested in becoming lawyers so they can support the music industry, or interested in becoming doctors so they can become ENT specialists so they can help with vocal cords to be properly, right? Until they become engineers so that we can design our own instruments, etc. Until they become actuarial scientists so they can provide business models to the industry, then we are not really capitalizing on what is our oil, what is our diamond. In Trinidad, there's a reason why the University of the West Indies had the engineering faculty first down there. And it's because they had oil. And because they were interested in having an entire education system up to the highest level that supported that industry. And so even though we have the first and only of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean that is not appropriately supported, and I might get in trouble for saying it, but it's okay. I'm accustomed to being in trouble. We have the first and only of its kind that is probably one of the least funded tertiary level institutions in the country. That is an indictment on all of us. So if we don't change the mindset, those people who can't afford to go to UWI go to EDNA. Those people who are not bright enough to go to UTech go to EDNA. That is perception. Or those who are not serious about becoming a professional at anything. And so we need to cut out this co-curricular perspective. And we need to appreciate that there are very few Jamaicans who can show success from any profession greater than what our Sean Pauls and Shaggies and our Butcher Bantans and our Dean Fraser, and you know what to say about this money, but I will tell you. Right? And Mikey Bennett's and so on are able to bring as long-lasting success stories. When you talk about residual income, creators, writers, producers have residual income that no bank manager don't have. And that very few doctors can have. Unless of course, they are inventing. So we need to talk about intellectual property and what that means and how intellectual property is that thing that can feed your great-grandchildren. So that the students stop seeing this thing called music as the other thing that they do. Alright? I'm going to talk too long once I go there, so let me just do it and say thank you very much. Jerry is always ready to support in whatever way we can. And we look forward to season 10 because 10 is an important number. It is completion. 10 is wholeness. And so we celebrate with Raven and the Jamaica's Best School Band team, and we say onward and upward. Thank you.
Alright, could we put your hands together one more time for Sir Simpson? Thank you, sir, for that powerful message. I feel like I was in law class a while ago. I actually have a course named Entertainment Law doing. I'm going to link up Sir Simpson. Don't worry. Alright, sir. At this point in time, we're going to be doing the trophy handover, right? And I would like to invite the principal of the current champion school at the St. Catherine High School, Mr. Marlon Campbell, to the podium to hand over the Champions Trophy and then receive the replica trophy, and also to give us a remark Can you give us a remark now? You want him to give us a remark now? Okay, before. And then after he'll give us a remark. And we have the handing over the trumpet.
Thank you very much, moderator. All protocols having been observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And interestingly, I'm standing here and I'm recognizing that, I'm looking at the faces, I heard about Lloydie, Dean, and other persons, Bennett Wright. And I say though, this is like way back in time. I'm not saying that you would have affected the world. No, what I mean, you would have affected the world in the true sense of reggae music. Trust me, you would have affected the world. And so I am incredibly honored to be holding this trophy. What this competition has done, it has set a fire at St. Catherine High School. Just today I've met a grade 7 boy who's awesome on track. And it is as a result of this competition. We have a grade 9. We now have every person who wants to play. Everybody wants to play. And so we are known well for the performing arts, but it was always JCDC. And so what Jamaica Best School Band competition has done, it has, in a very authentic and real way, it has said to us, it has spoken language we have never heard before. It has said to us, either you're ready for the road or you're not ready for the road. And as a result of the last competition, I can say that we are ready for the road. St. Catherine High School has just been invited. I can't say to which reggae festival yet, because still in the embryonic stages, but we have been approached to be on stage. Thank you so very much, Raven. You've been the brainchild of this. Thank you.
I know I can testify to the fact of what this competition, it's not just a competition, it is a program that I would call the breeding ground of talent. And so we must take it very seriously as a very sacred thing to do each year we come here. And so we're going to have a performance right now from Mr. Joy Brian, a saxophonist. Is very great. Right, he was a member of the William St. Catherine High School Band last season, and is now a student at the Alpha School of Music. Could we make welcome Mr. Brian at this point in time? Please put your hands together.
I'm about protecting musicians and seeing
that they get the best treatment possible. And that is what the JFMAU is about. I want to send a special respect to the Jbsb team for conceptualizing such an event. I think it's an excellent platform for students to express themselves and excellent training ground to become musicians. The JFMAU completely endorses this event. We are a labor union that represents professional musicians, artists, and all creatives in Jamaica. And we conscientiously protect the rights and interests of our members by securing and creating a fairer music and creative industry for all. I want to say respect to Mr. Yuan as well from Jaria, respect. And yeah, any questions about the union, you can link me up after. You can hit me up on the social media, JFMAU Union. And yeah, that is it, That is it, not much to say. Just all about protecting the interests of the musicians, that is it.
Blessings. I said that is it, Yeah, man, that is it. And that is actually it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite Mr. Ricardo Francis just to give us the vote of thanks. It has been a night, you understand me, at the Jamaica's Best School Band media launch. You're wearing a Sir Francis.
Respect the great firematic. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the end of the launch of the 10th season of the Jamaica Best School Band competition, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to all of you who attend this event tonight. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Yuan Simpson for your advocacy and your support. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our sponsors, the Chase Fund, Edna Mali College of the Visual and Performing Arts, Grace, Music Mart, Hometime Cable, Parks Entertainment, Black Knight Graphics, and Alpha Studios for your generous support of this competition. Without your support, this initiative would not be possible. We'd also like to thank all our participating schools, the students, especially those in attendance, for your immense talent and dedication. We appreciate it. We would like to express our appreciation to our special guests, Uncle Bennett, Dean Fraser, the great lady. You guys have graced us with your presence and we appreciate that. We thank you, our patron. We thank you for your continued support, for being here with us tonight to celebrate the launch of this 10th season of Jbsb. Finally, we would like to thank everybody who has contributed, the team, for your contribution, whether big or small. You have made this essential to the success of Jbsb. Have a great evening, and we encourage you to continue to support Jbsb while we nurture excellence. Thank you.
I want to just say big up to the sponsors. That's the Chase Fund, the Edna Manley College, Grace Foods, Music Mart, Hometime Cable, Black Knight Graphics, Alpha Studios, Parks Entertainment, Acme Youth Records, and Earthquake. You can get refreshments on the outside to the left as you reach outside. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fabian Morris. Thank you for participating in the Jamaica's Best School Band media launch. Have a great evening.